Max vs. Cheese, episode 4. We got pound for pound, fight of the year, and 2023 in review. But first, Max got his pound for pound list.
All right. So just to quickly go over it then. The criteria for the pound for pound list is quality of wins, quality of opponents, and recent performance and effectiveness. Okay. Number 1, I got Naoya Inoue. 88% knockout percentage. Has faced high-level opponents, beat everybody in every division that he's ever fought in. I think he's fought in 4 different weight divisions. Hasn't ducked anybody, and has unified 2 different weight classes. And this man wins in dominant fashion. I mean, if he doesn't KO you, he just beats the shit out of you for 12 rounds straight. But, more likely than not, 88% of the time, he's knocking people out. And he's small. Number 2, Terrence Crawford. The reason why he's not number 1 is because he hasn't fought all the people that Earl Spence beat.
We had a whole segment saying he's evil. He can't be.
I mean, he's a great fighter. We got to give him his props. We got to give him his flowers because Earl Spence Jr., he's still on my he's in my pound for pound list, but he got absolutely murdered on television. So, yeah, Terrence Crawford is a great fighter, power in both hands. Just, honestly, nobody's fucking with him right now at 147. He's really, he could be number 1. I got Inoue because Inoue, is honestly, he's put in more work and beat, really high-level competitive fighters. His whole career. Usyk, number 3. Beat AJ twice. That's impressive because Usyk is a cruiserweight. AJ is, an unfair heavyweight. He's one of those fighters that you got to put in a different weight class.
He's 18 stone, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that... Every time I watch British boxing, they say that. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Isn't it 12 and a half pounds? I think that's what stone is.
Something like that, but
18 pounds?
268 pounds versus a guy who came up fighting at 190 or whatever. Cruiserweights are not that big. He's not that big. Yet, he beat AJ twice, pretty convincingly. And Dubois, too, who put on a pretty good performance. Also, just other than that, has had a really good high level of competition, so that's impressive. Number 4, Dimitri Bivol. That's kind of, a little controversial, but I'm going to say Bivol because he's also just swept every single person he's ever fought. And it hasn't even been close, and he's fought all the top people in his division, Pascal, all that stuff. He's technically just, the superior fighter in every sense, every single time he fights. Low KO percentage, but don't let that tell the story. Don't let that tell the story, because he wins all the time. He's fought everybody except for Better Biev. Yeah, and he beat Canelo. Beating Canelo, automatically makes you go up. And that's the reason why Canelo isn't above him. Number 5, Devin Haney. 31 wins, 15 knockouts. Level of competition early on. However, in the last 3 years, this man has fought and beat Gamboa, Linares, Joseph Diaz, Kambosos twice, Lomachenko, and Prograis. Only close fight was Loma. Lomachenko could be an all-time great or is an all-time great. That was a span of 3 years. Unified 135 and now has a belt at 140. That is that's impressive. We don't like to give Devin Haney a ton of credit. He's only 24. He's done all that shit. He's great. Number 6, Canelo Alvarez. Fucking all-time great fighter, bro. He's beat everybody. He's beat Miguel Cotto. He's beat, his resume is great. His resume is great, but the reason that he's at number 6 and not at number 5 or number 4 is because he hasn't looked good in the last, 3 or 4 fights, something like that.
Isn't he on this list, though, just as, for everything he's done in the past,
basically? An honorary member, pretty much. He's an honorary... Because if we're just...
I don't rate him anymore, honestly. He's kind of fallen off, and he's not making the fights that he needs to make, so it's
That's why, but yeah, I know, but that's the
he'll be on the
thing.
pound for pound list for the next 10 years.
I was gonna say the same exact thing. It's not the pound for pound list in a sense is stupid. Fighters hate it. I don't necessarily like it, but I like the mental exercise of it. And I'm an analyst, my job is an analyst, so I do like to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, all-time fucking great fighter, like we said, honorary fucking guy. But yeah, it just hasn't looked good since he fought Sergey Kovalev, man. Honestly,
No, it was Bivol, wasn't it? Because he lost.
But like no, but I'm saying like
as a
so
win.
he beat Kovalev. He beat Kovalev, and then all the fights after that, win or lose, because he fought Triple G, and he fought like Liam Smith or whatever.
Yeah.
Just looked slow, looked sluggish. Didn't get the knockouts. Just was kind of like. Just looked old. Didn't look that good. That's what happens
when you go up and down in weight.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But we are gonna give him credit, and he is on this list at number 6, which is high in my opinion. For fighting Bivol. Number 7, Gervonta Davis. He's ranked low because of he just hasn't been active, but he's beat a ton of people. Doesn't really have the belts, but he has the resume. He's beat a lot of good fighters. So we got to give him that credit. Also, crazy knockout percentage. Number 8, Tio. Hasn't been active, but did beat a prime Lomachenko. So you got to put him on there like
Wasn't
that.
It like 2 years ago?
No. He beat Loma in like 2019.
Damn.
Yeah,
bro.
that was a while ago, and like low key, Loma was like the favorite. He was, like that was a really good fight. Number 9, Earl Spence Jr. It's pretty similar to Canelo in the way where it's like Earl Spence has one of the best resumes in boxing. Like that motherfucker's resume is crazy. You can look it up, but Sean Porter, Ugas Garcia, Danny Swift Garcia, Kell Brook, Chris Algieri. He's got an almost 80% knockout ratio. Like, everybody knows Earl Spence. Everybody knows he's raw as fuck. He just got his ass whooped by fucking Terrence Crawford, so we can't put him too high. And then 10, Benavidez. That one was kind of tough for me. I mean, once you get to 10, it's like, nah. However, 2 dominant wins in the last year against 2 pretty good guys. Boo Boo. All right, Boo Boo's ass. Caleb Plant, though. Caleb Plant is good.
He was up 2 weight classes, too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was up 2 weight classes.
I didn't know that.
35
bad,
and 0,
bro.
some shit, bro.
I felt bad.
Caleb Plant was giving Canelo problems, boxing his ass off though, and Caleb Plant gave Canelo problems, but knocked out most of his opponents. He's 28-0 with 24 knockouts, decent level of competition just throughout his career.
He just needs to fight Canelo or Bivol, and that's it.
Then it's good for him. All right, sorry, man.
All right,
what's up?
For Usyk, who is my number 1, I have to cape for him because I've seen him fight for way too long at terrible weight classes like 190. And I think did he fight Beater Biev in the Olympic trials too? But he's fought at terrible weight classes. So for my pound for pound, Usyk's number 1 just because he's heavyweight now and his style is very active. Like I used to think that Tyson Fury had the best style in heavyweight until I saw him lose to Ngannou. And now I think that Usyk has the mobility to give like these big heavyweights a problem, like we saw with AJ. And I hope we can get more fights. Like, the Dubois fight also was like, Danny Dubois looked like a fool. Only for Dubois to come back and erase Miller? All right.
That was crazy.
Next one was Inoue, because that's pretty easy. Him beating Steph Fulton was pretty funny for me. But I thought that was pretty much the solidification of him for years to come, basically. But I need him to move up to like 130, 135, and maybe give up the O, or take out somebody like Shakur at the end of his career.
Dude, that'd be wild. Because
this is how I want it to go for all these people on this list. Either they beat up some up-and-coming prospect who is on the pound-for-pound list like next year, or they give up their O in like a go-out-on-their-shield type of Lomachenko-Haney kind of way. Where it was you know what, this kid did beat me type shit.
Passing of the torch.
Yeah. All right, so that was my Inoue one. Next was Crawford. I hate Terrence Crawford. I genuinely hate Terrence Crawford. I hate his style. I hate his voice. I hate his face. But very good at boxing. He has a very good team behind him that let him take advantage of Errol Spence spending the last literally 8 years fighting all of welterweight. So I guess I have to do that just because he saw an opportunity and he seized it. Good for him.
A good, very competitive welterweight division. Mind you,
he didn't do shit though. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
He fought Gamboa too, didn't he? Like,
Gamboa was small.
That's what I don't like about Terrence Crawford. Is that's like he thinks he's so good, and we give him props like right now, but he fought very questionable opponents and took advantage of people who had already given a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to the division.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't put him above Inoue, even though he is ranked like number 1 on all the lists. It's just like, dude, like you beat Sean Porter, but Sean Porter had brain damage from Earl Spence.
Yeah,
like that,
not,
you know what I mean?
And
Kell Brook too.
Okay, Haney. Haney is one that's he's 4 this year. I expect him to be like number 1 in 2 years because his style seems to just translate over everything. And he wants to fight. So, Devin Haney really was the Loma fight, right? Where he was just boxing Lomachenko up, hitting him with the body. And then when he fought Prograis and made Prograis look amateur, which is, I mean, we all knew that was going to happen, kind of. I don't see anyone beating Devin Haney at 140 unless it's Teofimo Lopez making some insane performance. I'm talking like Hall of Fame level performance, but I don't see that happening. And I only got 5, so my last person is Tank, just because I don't care about belts. I mean, I do, but in terms of negotiation,
The business side.
Tank doesn't need belts to make all this money, to be the face of boxing, to be on these lists, because his style and the way he fights and the way he knocks people out is something that seems like it would take out literally anyone from like 130 to like 147, honestly.
Literally.
Like, if he could learn how to, not learn, he already knows. If he could box up against, you know, Mario Barrios and hit Barrios to the body, though, 140 Barrios, I think Tank can do like a Mayweather-esque kind of career where he's just going, he doesn't even have to be for belts. It could be at random catchweights, and he'd still win, put on great fights, and I just don't see him losing badly. If Tank were to lose to anyone on the list that we named earlier, I think they would just be people who could take a punch. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be the chin level. And I don't think... I don't think it's the same for many other fighters, honestly. Like, except Inoue. Like, last episode we said Tapales got one combo. He actually lasted, like, 8 rounds. Like, good for him.
Yeah.
But I feel
He's
like...
got a chin, actually. His
Yeah.
chin, he showed that he had a lot of heart and a good chin.
I think with Tank, though, it's pretty simple. Like, you know, he's going to knock everybody out. We want to see him knock everybody out. And therefore, that's why we put him on these lists. Because we're like, you knock people out, man. We're making the hype for you, brother. All right, go do it.
Yeah. And, you know, just to, like, kind of piggyback off of that, like, with Tank, right? Because you said he's not, like, he doesn't have a belt or anything like that. Like, casuals should not, like, make that mistake of thinking, like, he's only fought bums. Like, this man's resume is really fucking good. He's fought a lot of good fighters. I named him, but, like, he knocked him out, too. He's just good at making fights, but they're not always for belts.
I mean, like, making good fights is the key to a lot of this. Like, with boxing, I feel like that's why Devin Haney and Usyk are on... Well, not Crawford. Devin Haney and Usyk are on my list because they make the good fights, or at least they try.
Yeah, they try.
I thought Usyk versus Dubois was a kind of a risk for Usyk just because Dubois is still big. It's heavyweight, and Usyk is kind of small.
Yeah.
Plus, that weird low blow body shot really did worry me for a minute. I was like, I don't know.
Oh, he's a cruiserweight. I mean, he's like naturally like a small guy, but you know, that just kind of adds to his credit.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, Usyk's gonna be on my list. Haney's gonna be on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Tank also. The matchmaking, Crawford too. In a way, matchmaking is a part of why these guys are on the list. And it's like they take advantage of matchups and they're trying to fight. So
Yeah.
They deserve it.
It's a good point that you made about like Inoue and like Usyk, because like these motherfuckers do try and make the best fights possible. While, you know, I have Terrence number 2 just because just clearly he's so raw, but he has not made the best fights.
No.
He hasn't. And so like your list is pretty defendable because it's like, yeah, Terrence Crawford, obviously a great fighter, but like who's he fought?
He fought Avanesian on like BLK Prime.
That boy has not fought anybody. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
So that's my list. Do you want to talk about your fight of the year that you watched? Or
Oh yeah. Do you have a different like thing?
No, it's the same. I think
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same fight.
Okay. Yeah, so like just quickly, my fight of the year is Haney versus Loma. The reason for that being is like it's one of those classic passing of the torch, like, you know, up and coming young guy versus like old champion. Lomachenko was no slouch. He had like some shit in the Ukraine, but he's still a great boxer. Anybody who knows anything about boxing knows that Lomachenko is a good ass fighter. Devin Haney took the risk, and he was young, and he wanted to unify the division. And that fight itself was a perfect mix of boxing technicality and violence. Because we want to see violence, but that was like beautiful. Because it was like violent but so skillful, like the sweet science literally like embodied in that fight. That was such a good fight, and the stakes were high, but those guys, they landed their shots. The defense was good, and there was no running, man. They really just fought it out. Like they fought it out. So that's my fight of the year, and that's my reasons.
Yeah, I agree because Haney versus Loma was like the passing of the torch. That was a big fight for Devin because he was going to be a free agent after that. So Top Rank ESPN had a huge vested interest in Lomachenko. And you can kind of hear it in the commentary where I literally had Haney up 5-2. And then I heard the commentary say that they had Loma closer. They had it at 4-3 Haney. And that little comment threw off my whole perception of the fight for a week. So, after that, and watching the fight back, you could tell that Devin Haney really did, like, do what he had to do. But I like that fight because there was clearly more on the line than just, like, the two dudes in the ring. There's a lot of money on the line for Devin. There's legacy for Loma. Also, Loma needs to get money, too, because, like, he's been fighting for free for way too long. And I feel like that fight really showed that both fighters were hungry despite their age. And the skill level was top tier. I have one more fight, though, that's like super random that I totally forgot about until just now. And it's Lee Wood versus Mauricio Lara. If you remember that fight, our guy Mauricio Lara came in and they were talking mad smack about him, calling him a bummy Mexican, saying all these weird things about where he was from. And in that fight, Lara's hand speed and hooks were insane. Literally a once-in-a-lifetime performance because in the rematch, he looked awful. But Lara versus Lee Wood the first time, he knocks down Lee Wood. Lee Wood is just holding on, surviving, and he's British, so, But that fight, I think, was my, like, fight of the year because I saw it and was like, who are these people? Who are these people? And I think they're fighting for a belt at 130.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, and Mauricio Lara was like the unheard of Mexican dude fighting in like a garage somewhere. And the British press was disrespecting him. And he came out throwing bombs. Lee Wood had a good jab, good straights, but he had no answer for Lara's hooks. And bro, I'm telling you, he has never fought that well again.
That's crazy. Yeah, I guess another honorable mention would be that Navarrete fight. Who did he just fight?
Oh my god.
That shit was wild. Navarrete is a beast, and the guy he fought, I fucking forgot his name, man. I'm sorry, but that guy was taking shots. I mean, again, that was some real fucking
was it Valdez?
Fighter shit.
Valdez? No.
Navarrete's last fight, I thought it was like something with a
Yeah, he beat
B.
No, wasn't Valdez?
Let me look it up. Let me just look up the fucking boxing rec shit. Emmanuel Navarrete versus... Oh! Conceição.
Oh!
So, and that ended up in a draw. I think Navarrete won the fight.
Yeah,
but they just went at it. That was a classic like Mexican style fight. Like, if you like to watch that kind of stuff where it's just two dudes just banging. I mean, they had, pause. They had skill though. They had skill, but they were banging it out like they were hitting each other with everything they got, and motherfuckers were just standing there like this, taking it on the fucking chin. Dude.
I didn't think that was a draw though. I feel like that's why I forgot about it because I thought Navarrete got robbed.
He did.
Because I didn't think
the other guy didn't do enough.
Was it Conseco or Conceição?
Conceição.
Conceição. I thought he did good, but I didn't see him definitively winning many rounds, in my opinion. I thought he had a couple of good flurries, and maybe towards the second half of the fight he won a couple, but
Yeah.
I thought Navarrete basically swept him, except for a couple of rounds, and I was so surprised that it was a draw. Like,
Navarrete got like knockdowns in that shit too.
yeah,
I think he might have gotten like 2 knockdowns or something. Like he was hurting him bad. Props to Conceição for like, weathering the storm. But yeah, Navarrete got robbed. So maybe that's another thing where it's like, we don't say that's the fight of the year because we don't want fucking robberies to be fights of the year in boxing.
Hey man, Ngannou beating Fury was pretty crazy. I'm not
That
gonna
was
lie.
such a good fight.
That was crazy. Bro, like, that's low-key the biggest upset in a long time, bro. Like, where I'm like, he lost. All right, we get it. He lost.
Oh, yeah, on the
On
numbers,
paper,
but no, he didn't lose.
Dude, I didn't think Fury won more than 2-3 rounds, and then Ngannou scored a knockdown, bro. That was like, low-key, boxing was back this year, and then Ngannou knocked down Fury, and it was like, damn.
Yeah, no, that was bad for
What
boxing.
is this sport again?
I know. Well, that's what happens when a fucking obese motherfucker is the heavyweight champion
That's
of the
true.
world.
That's
I
true.
mean, he obviously didn't train, and just I think he lost, but he did win like the last few rounds like pretty convincingly. He like kind of outboxed him,
Yeah.
but like if there's another way to score fights, and it's damage, and if we look, bro, if you saw Tyson Fury's face after that shit, bro, he got mixed up. That was bad for him.
The knockdown, though.
And the knockdown, of course. It goes without saying,
dude,
bro. It's like,
I'm
damn,
like,
dude.
I never in my life ever have heard of a professional heavyweight doing an exhibition, like, just for jokes, and getting knocked down.
It's embarrassing.
Bro, what? And he still has to fight? like, legit. Like, he has to go defend his titles? Dude, he's so fucked. He's so fucked.
I mean, well, one of two things could have happened. It's either like this lights a fire within him, and like he like goes out and has this great performance against fucking Usyk, or it's just like he got exposed. He's cooked. Like he's cooked. Deontay touched him up way too hard, way too many times, and it's like Ngannou, also hit him hard, and it's like your legs are gone. Your brain might be kind of fucked a little bit. I don't know. Tyson Fury, not on my top 10. I don't think on anybody's now after that. It's like, you shamed the sport of boxing.
Literally, bro, it's like such a good year for boxing. Fury losing. And it was like...
Dude, but in a way, though, it kind of made boxing better because that was a good-ass fight. Like, that could have been fight of the year. Like, that was a great fight.
Saying,
but then the robbery, after that, I checked the comments on Instagram. This is why I don't watch boxing.
Yeah.
Man, fuck boxing. Boxing shit. And it's like...
That's exactly what I was about to say.
And it's kind of like... And it's like, I'm not going to say, bro, it's a criminal-ass sport. What do you want? Like...
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking, was that it's like... The same reason that, like, that fight was good for boxing and Fury getting exposed, it also was bad for boxing. Fury still got the win. It was like, no way, bro. Oh, my gosh.
Dude, yeah. Fucking, I mean, robberies happen in the UFC, too. But, like, the thing is that, like, with boxing, it's just, like, they'll do it more blatantly and often, too, where it's just, like... if you haven't been watching the sport for a while, you get mad.
Yeah.
But, like, we've both been watching it for a while, so, it doesn't phase us. It's kind of like, that's so unfortunate, but, like, it's literally the sport of boxing. I watched the fight. I think I know who won. But, yeah, it's
That's why you pay attention to what companies these people are signed to.
And the judges. Where are the judges from? And also just, honestly, the politics of it. I mean, it's like... Just the politics. This isn't a fucking tangent, but
right.
Yeah. Do
you have any other 2023 wrap-up comments to leave? Because
are we doing fighter of the year or no? We don't gotta do that.
I was gonna say the one thing that I was gonna bring up was the Shakur Stevenson 2023 saga and how I do not like anything that he did this year at all. Like, that was just terrible. They did that little thing with him and Devin, and it was like, giving him the side eye as Devin is literally making the announcement that he's going to 140. Just looking clownish. And then, ducking contracts. I'm really not a fan of what's going on with Shakur Stevenson right now. I need him to fight people. This is getting ridiculous. And like we've said earlier, Top Rank does this where they let their fighters sit forever until, like Crawford, there's an opportune time. So I hope Shakur gets in the ring, gets a good fight. The last good fight I remember him having was Valdez. And
that one Japanese guy, but like that wasn't like competitive. It was just a showcase of his skills. Look, Shakur is really talented, and I don't know if it's because he's ducking or if it's Top Rank, but yeah, he needs to get his shit together. Because look at his peers. Look at Devin Haney and look at Gervonta Davis, man.
even Tiafimo, it's like, come on, bro.
Tio's
Like,
putting in work.
everybody's putting everybody's putting in work except for
Top Rank.
be able to Top Rank fighters, but except for Shakur, and it's making me kind of pissed off because I watched him in the Olympics. We saw how good he was, and then the guy that beat him in the Olympics just lost too. So it's like, Shakur,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
let's go.
If you got eyes and you could tell that this man is like blessed, like he might be one of the most naturally talented boxers in the game right now. This man's defense is crazy. It's just, if it's management, if he's not confident in himself after that one weird, fight. His last fight was super weird. Snooze fest. He can't sell tickets. So I think just to end it off, man, Shakur has got to get a good fight. But he needs a fight against a good opponent, and he needs to beat this good opponent with aggression, bro. We all know you got defense, bro.
Yeah.
We all know, like, bro, so good defensively, but just, like, throw a few punches. Like, I know you can do it.
Yeah.
He's just afraid to get hit. I don't know what it is. You're a boxer.
Bro, because it
happens.
Remember when he lost to the Olympics, bro? He was crying on national television saying, I don't lose!
Oh,
And it feels like maybe he's legit scared to lose. Because like you said, he sees his peers. He's been in the gym with those people. And now he's like, oh, damn, maybe they did pass me up, bro. Like,
I would hate to think that that's how he feels.
But the problem is that he doesn't know until he gets in the ring. And that's why I feel like the confidence thing is going to come into play at a certain point. I'm just saying.
This is a good surprise topic. Yeah, no, Shakur.
No, because we've talked about him so much. We like
Yeah.
him as a young American fighter. He's one of the last American fighters to represent us well on the world stage. Where the fuck is he? Like, Top Rank parades him around all the time, but he's not putting up highlights, good fights. He's not even, like, talking funny. Like he's not going on podcasts. He's not doing anything.
No, he is. No, that's kind of the problem, though. He was on the
Oh,
Pivot.
that's right.
He was on a few podcasts.
That's right.
No, but it makes it even more embarrassing, right? Because he was on the Pivot, and then he had this whole like build up for his last fight against Del Santos. Like literally like one of those things that Floyd used to do, where it's like the Showtime.
Oh yeah, all access.
All access. My bad. Yeah, all access. And like I was excited for it. I wanted to watch it, and then it was just like that fight was like the worst boxing match I think ever, bro. The least amount of punches thrown in a fight. I think it was the second.
Oh yeah.
Second
That was that one.
least amount of punches thrown in the fight. So, Top Rank, you can't have your crowning achievement, your young bull, your cash cow, parade him around like he said. You can't parade him around, you can't hype him up, and then have him go out and do something like that. Because he's going to be making a cool $75 every time he fights if that's the case. Alright? Because we like boxing. We know boxing. Motherfuckers are not going to want to watch him if they aren't as knowledgeable about the sport as we are. Like, straight up.
How would you build a Shakur fight? Like you kind of Olympic silver medalist?
Well, okay, when he was a prospect, when Shakur was a prospect, that's how they hyped him up. And I was like, oh yeah, I could see it. Like, that's an Olympic fighter right there. Like, that is skill, and he's got the fundamentals and the base to be a great champion. And now it's just getting to the point where it's like, all right, bro, you're no longer a prospect, become a champion, and show everybody like that you're that guy. And he's got to do it by fucking getting a good opponent and knocking him out. whether it's convincingly or whether it's in a brawl.
Oh yeah, no, it does have to be a good opponent. Like, come on.
It
bro.
does have to be a good opponent.
Yeah,
it does have to be a good opponent. Because Devin Haney fought Lomachenko.
That's true.
Devin Haney can't be out here fighting Lomachenko.
That's true.
And then Shakur can't be over here talking about like, oh, Devin Haney, like, you're a bitch. Like, I'm gonna take your spot, and you ain't fought nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It's frustrating. I know we're kind of like going on a tangent on him, but we both like him. Like, you know, cool guy, good fighter. Like,
I just thought about it because I was like, wow, like 2023 was such a good year. Shakur Stevenson flew under the radar of every single fucking fight.
Yeah.
I think. Do you have anything else though? Because that's it for me.
Oh no. I mean, I was gonna say like fighter of the year, but I feel like it's either Inoue, Crawford, or. Yeah, either one of those two.
Are we gonna go like Inoue, right? Because he unified 2 weight classes this year.
Yeah, Inoue, and his fights were really good too. Like
Yeah.
that Stephen Fulton fight was
I
good.
just hate that they're on at 3 in the fucking morning, bro. Like
Japan.
3 in the morning on a Tuesday, so it's Monday night.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Haney could be a fighter of the year. Like that's like, you know, he put in work this year pretty good.
We talk too much shit about him, and Inoue has the finishes.
Yeah, Inoue. You're right.
That's why I'm like, yeah, no.
All right.
Episode 4 in the books.
Yep.
Catch you later. Peace.
Have a good one. Happy New Year.